amazing supportive therapy engagement program, S.T.E.P, you like to call it. It's an
Yes.
online course, right?
Yes.
And maybe
Yes,
you could
correct.
tell us a little bit about how did it come to be? I definitely want to hear about it, but how did you dream it up? Where did it come from?
Well, it actually came from my own experiences as a nurse. And I've got about 40 years experience, and I started using, and I can remember the exact time in my career where I was, what I was doing, when I said there has got to be something else than just putting the pieces together and just putting things together in with our patients. And that's when a whole world of different complementary therapies opened up for me. And I started to, explore them and really integrate them into my life, because I was feeling stressed and on that roller coaster and trying to juggle family, work, and everything else that goes with it. And how can I do that and do that without depleting myself? So these were tools that I found for myself, like healing touch, aromatherapy, the NIA that you mentioned. Those were all very important integration of different therapies. So it wasn't just one, it was really integrating. And then I had the opportunity to start using that in the clinical setting and found, wow, there's more. This is part of what we can do to help somebody feel whole. And it's not just putting pieces together, but help them to feel whole in bringing these modalities into that setting. So it really was something that I found very helpful for patients and clients. But at the same time, I found the professional, the nurse, the other nursing assistants and others were really struggling, and some of the things I heard from them were, Deb, this is a great tool. Love healing touch, love aromatherapy, but I just don't have time. I'm in a busy setting. And you can apply this even in the family world. I've got a busy life with my family and work. How am I going to do these tools in my life? And so that really put me, it's like, you can, I know you can. So that put me on this mission of what can we do to hone it down? It's important to know, like you were saying, it's important to know maybe the research and how it works, but then how can I do that and apply it in 5 minutes or less and bring myself to balance, my children, my family, or my clients or patients? So how can I extend that into the world? So that's the premise really of S.T.E.P. But I think it certainly is something the tools can be used, outside of health providers.
Well, and you mentioned tools, plural. So maybe you could share a little bit about the program and because NIA is body-based, healing touch is energy-based. And so, and I heard you mention whole person. This is a whole person approach. So, my little brain's putting this puzzle together going, hey, I think that what Debra's offering here is on a lot of different levels. So can you share a little bit about what the architecture of the program is like?
Yes, absolutely. And I call it 3 pillars, so there are like really 3 pillars. So there's the relaxation techniques. So there are various relaxation techniques that you can use to help calm your chaos. Things like healing touch. And you can take that down. I mean, many of us know healing touch is it's a very big program, but there are tools that you can take down and really use them effectively and quickly. And things like breath technique, visualization, those all fall under that pillar of relaxation. And then there's aromatherapy. So aromatherapy is becoming really very popular, but with popularity comes concern for safety. Right. So making sure we're using aromatherapy safely and with a plan, medications, conditions. So making sure we can use that for inhalation, topical, in a bath. So there's various ways that we can use that pillar of aromatherapy for calming, relaxing. And then there is the gentle movement like NIA. And NIA is, yes, it's body, but it's also mind and spirit. So when you are moving, you are really moving and feeling that sense of not not really caring what, like I'm doing a specific move, but really the intention is move for pleasure, move for what feels good in your body. And things like Nia, Ageless Grace, there's other modalities that allow that to happen. And what I think is important, all of these tools can stand by themselves, but I believe it's important that we bring them together, like relaxation, the aromatherapy, the movement. All of them are important, and bringing them together as part of a health plan, whether you're dealing with a condition, whether you're dealing with general health maintenance. I think it's important regardless. It's something I do all the time. It's important for my health maintenance and my well-being. And so that's, I think, something you mentioned, the energy, because each of these employs energy. And so when you are in stress, your frequency, your energy lowers, and these tools can be used together to help bring your frequency, your energy up. And I kind of share it like, like a buddy system. I can get a job done, but if you help me, we can get it done quicker. And it's the same with, I can give you a breath technique, but if you want to do a breath technique with aromatherapy, then we're just enhancing that tool together. And that's what S.T.E.P does. It really talks about how can you bring these together to really bring the system back to that place of balance and peace quickly and effectively.
Oh, I have so many questions.
Yay!
It's so exciting because I just feel like, we're all being asked to step into the bigness of who we are. And so on the other side of that, these beautiful programs that attend to the bigness of who we are. And, you mentioned working in the clinical setting, but also having these tools and techniques and this program applied to just our, everyday person like me. For the movement, if I was in a wheelchair, or if I, had limited movement for some reason, can we still, are there adaptions, or are the movements, and I'm just curious, like, can everybody use these?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Of course, people are dealing with different things. And even my current setting is oncology. And we do have, some oncology patients. They're dealing with, different treatments, and they can be extremely fatiguing. So it is something that, we encourage. Do this from a chair, but just that's one of the things that really can help energy is moving. But there are times, you're right, there are times that maybe somebody is totally wheelchair bound and they can't physically, like, even move fingers or, move head or shoulders. So that's where we can use some of the imagery and actually, again, combine those pieces together and use the imagery with the movement, even enhancing it with some aromatherapy and putting those tools together. So absolutely, it can be something that can be done and adapted based on what you're dealing with at this time.
Well, I'm curious, you've piqued my interest. What's one of your, maybe favorite exercises or practices in the program for relaxation?
Yes, for real. I think one of the biggies and I've been really kind of talking about this a lot now because of the research that's out there about heart balance. And our heart center, the heart chakra, is in the middle of our chest. We're both wearing green. It's a color of the heart chakra. And so the times or the moments that you're feeling, okay, I'm running, I'm just moving, take a moment, place your hands on your heart center, and take a moment to breathe in through your nose and breathe out gently through your mouth. Now, as you breathe in, bring in a memory that is one of love, of joy, of peace. It might be a favorite place, it might be an event, but really bring that intention of that memory as you breathe in And as you breathe out and hold that feeling of that memory in your heart. It's really focusing on the energy of that memory, breathing it in and holding it in your heart, even as you breathe out, slow and easy. And feel the feelings of that memory in your heart. They might be emotions of joy, glad, happy, love, whatever it is, really go to the feeling of that emotion and its focus in your heart center. And let that feeling flow throughout your body. As you continue to breathe, it flows out beyond your physical body, holding you in that space. Staying with that energy of that feeling. Slowly come back to your breath and let the breath out slowly bring you back.
That was so fast, and I feel like a new person.
Isn't that amazing? And
Yeah.
I was looking, I think it was something like maybe a minute or so, that we did that. So yeah.
Oh, Deborah, that's so beautiful. And our ability to tap into those feelings, the
Yes.
timelessness of those feelings. And I don't want to get too much about me here, but in that in that experience, I was suddenly the image that, or the memory that came over, was with my father on our farm cleaning out these filters on our irrigation system for the plants.
Oh,
And
wow.
I mean, I know that is just like the most bizarre feeling, but I realized in that moment what I was tapping into was this really sweet connection with
Yes.
my father. And
Yeah.
then I realized, I've been really needing and missing that since COVID. And so the many layers of that experience really and profoundly moved me, because it wasn't just tapping into any feeling. It was a specific feeling connected to a specific need that, and that now I will end this interview, not right now, but when we end